All right, welcome to the Outdoor Highlife podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm here with Steve of Steve Adventures. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Out on the Blue River.
Yeah.
Beautiful day. Can't really complain. So.
I know, right?
But yeah, we're just sitting out here on the Blue River in southern Oklahoma, and just camping for the weekend. And I've been following Steve. He's got a YouTube channel called Steve Adventures, and I've been following his channel and watching some of his videos. And he is all over the place doing cool stuff. I mean, skiing in Colorado, floating the Buffalo River in Arkansas. I mean, literally tons of cool adventures. So I reached out to him. I was like, man, I'd love to know more about your channel and how you got started, and what is Steve's Adventures, and I'm going to pick his brain on some of these trips, because a lot of the places you go, I'm like, man, that is beautiful, and another thing I love, man, is like just your watching your videos, just your excitement and your enthusiasm, and it's just really authentic. So I don't know if somebody has told you that before, or if you ever get that, but I was like, man, it's a pleasure to watch. So
Thank you.
So
yes, I have heard that before. People have told me that before. Sometimes as a complaint. Yeah. Especially, because on the outdoors, and the places that I go. And I think one of these places was here. Mm-hmm. Especially because I love fishing. And just like you say, I get excited, and sometimes I get too excited. And everyone knows me, and when everyone knows that when I'm fishing and then I get a fish, I get excitement, and then I'm like, I always say like, oh, come on, fish it, fish it, and I just happy. And it's like, it doesn't matter how big, how small that fish is. It's just, it makes me happy. And there's so many, many of my videos, like you can see how, I talk about it. It's like how much fishing, like the fishing and catch a fish, it makes me so happy. So sometimes that has got me in trouble. And like I say, one of the time wasn't here like many years ago. So everyone is super quiet, it's like they're just fly fishing, they just regular fishing and all that. And then I'm like, fishing, fishing. And there was this guy just turned around, he just looking at me, and he's like, do you have to be that loud? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, your fish not even that big. And so I just turn around and I'm like, hey man, I am so sorry. It just makes me happy. And then and he's like, nah, man. And I was like, oh, well, so sorry about that. So I apologize, because yes, I know, a lot of places that you go, or that I go, is like, especially the outdoors, is like you will see people who go and do this kind of stuff, most of the time they're just looking for a peaceful day, here and there. And then here I am, Steve Adventures, going like, fishing. So, but then also I have many people who has my subscribers, they reach out to me, and they tell me, like, hey, thank you for inspiring me. Like, I see your videos and you got me so excited just watching your videos. And it's like, it makes me want to get out there, and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like in both sides, but of course, everywhere I go, I always try to be respectful, because I love music, I love, like having a good time with my friends, and all that kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why always when I go camping or do this kind of stuff, I try to stay away, like from everyone else. That way I don't bother other people. Yeah. So
well, I think I think it's contagious though. I mean, and I understand, but I'm the opposite. I'm kind of just low key monotone. So when I watch you, like, I get excited. So I like it, and
thank you.
And if it gets more people outdoors, I think I think it's nothing but good. So But yeah. So how did you get started? I mean, what got you into the outdoors? And
well, it's one is like, I used to live in Mexico for 14 years. And I used to live in this, it's called Oaxaca, Huatulco, and it's a beautiful place. And I used to just go and camping, like on the islands, on by the oceans, like, and I mean on the ocean. So it was that's what it's got me, started. But I mean the love for the outdoors. Now, when I got here in United States, and I mean pretty much here in Oklahoma City, uh, so it's kind of a little bit long story,
Hey,
but you're right.
good all day.
But so I have always playing sport, doing like being active and all that kind of stuff. So probably if I remember correctly, it was 2010, 2009. One day I wake up having a back problem, and I just didn't know how bad was it. I was like, maybe I just, something happened there that it was not gonna be like that bad. But it didn't go away. So I ended up going to the doctor. So I ended up, being like my last 3 days. Which correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, if I remember, it's L4, 5, and 6, the last ones disc. So the doctor come in, he's like, well, pretty much they're gone. So he's touching bone with bone. So they told me, like, hey, you know what? It's like we want to do therapy. We want to do a lot of stuff that I was doing there. So they say, this is what we're going to do. And I did it. That didn't work. I did that for 2 years. That didn't work. Then one of the last things that they did, it was like they did the injections on your spine, which is kind of like it's a big needle. It's a big needle.
I've seen those.
You seen those? Oh yeah, and it hurts. It hurts. That was the first time that that I screamed like a no. So what they do is like they just go on your spine, and it's scary because you can't move. It's like they especially tell you, it's like if you move, it's like it can break, and if it breaks, I mean, we're talking about your spine.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and it hurts, because then once they put it, they hold the place, so they hold it there, and then they start putting like I don't remember what's the name, but it's kind of like if it was like gel something, but it's something that they put, so that we kind of like to try to infuse, like to replace your disc. So they do like a silicone.
Give a cushion between your discs.
So that way, it start helping.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. But then what happened is like we did. You're supposed to have, I think, only like 2 or 3. I think I got like 7, 8, and it was horrible. Anyways, so then I'm a self-employer. I've been self-employed for so many years, 13, 12 years. So. I'm just trying to survive in this game that's called life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have insurance. Until today, I don't have insurance. My business is small. So when something is going on, like that, I need to go to a hospital, which regular I don't. I don't go to a hospital, but it costs me, like way more than it should,
Yeah, and if you're self-employed, I mean, it's it's solely reliant on you. I mean, so if you can't show up to work, then, so that combined with no insurance, I'm sure that was.
Yeah, I mean, it is terrifying.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like as being a self-employer, is like it's scary, but then sometimes it pay off. I mean, Sunday we here fishing.
Yeah.
So, but anyways. So then the doctor, he was saying just to me, he's like, hey, I have to be honest with you. It's like, it's nothing else we can do. He's like, you just losing your money, spending your money. He's like, what you need is surgery, and they wanted to put some screws, which is it was gonna be expensive, but I was willing to take the risk anyways. So then what happened is like they told me, you know what, Steve, because you don't have insurance, I mean, we have to be straight with you, because insurance is like, yeah, something happened to you because you have insurance. I mean, worst case scenario, I mean, and hopefully, this never happened, but if something happened to you, like you can get a pension or something,
Right. Yeah.
I don't. So the doctor came to me straight up and he's like, Steve, what's going to happen is like we're doing a 25%. 25% surgery. And I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, because of the surgery that you're having, he's like, it's a 25% that you can get better. It's a 25% that you will stay the same. It's a 25% that you will get worse. And then probably, you can just wake up and be paralyzed, and he's like, and I'm like, okay, what's the other 25%? And he's like, well, because of that kind of surgery, like that, how's it called? Like when they put you to sleep.
Anesthesia or
No. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Anesthesia. It's hard. He's like, people have, like, can get in coma, and or you can die.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to sign a paper,
Right.
and he's like, and I said, well, you know what did you recommend to me? And he was like, well, if I was you, I wouldn't do it. He's like, because you can walk. He's like, yes, you're in pain, because I'm in pain every day. Like every day is pain. So then he said, you know what, Steve, what's going to happen? He's like, think about it. And he's like, you are still young. And he's like, if I was you, I will wait until I just can't anymore. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm kind of already there.
I'm pretty close.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. So then he said, like, well, just think about it, because this is just something that is not going to be like super easy, like a decision like this, to make. And I'm like, okay. So I was supposed to have, so we scheduled the surgery, and then on a Friday, I'm on a 7-Eleven. I'm on a 7-Eleven, and you know how, you just making a line, and there's so many people, and then I'm just waiting. I have like probably like 3-4 people in front of me. I'm just gonna put some gas, and there's some stuff that and people who have back problems will understand this, is that there's things that you do that you don't see it, but other people will notice, especially if they know, like what kind of pain is it. So what I mean is, like, there are things that I do that you do, like, for example, just like you can be like straight up, and I can be talking to you, and then next thing you know, it's just like I'm doing, stuff like this, and then it's like, you might gonna be like, well, what is this guy doing? But maybe someone else will be like, hey, like, yeah, he's got a back problem. Anyway, so I'm online, and then I say, you know what? I say, I'm just waiting, and then I did something, and then this I hear this voice, and he say, move. No, I'm kidding. No, no, I hear this voice, behind me, and says, back problems, huh? And I turn around. And I don't see anybody. I mean, I was just like, and the next thing you know, it's this guy in a wheelchair. And I'm like, hey. He's like, you have a back problems, huh? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and I was like, well, I'm supposed to have surgery on Monday. And he's like, don't do it. He's like, don't do it. He's like, I did the surgery, and he's like, and when I did it, I was in pain. And when I woke up like this.
Holy cow.
So on Monday, I just called the doctor. I mean, I didn't even show up. I say, no, I'm not gonna do it. So they told me, you know what? They say, Steve, okay, all right, this is what we're gonna do. So they got me, like I have like this huge folder of all the the papers and everything that I need. And he said, well, you're gonna take this. And he's like, and wish you the best. And he's like, you're gonna need this one day. He's like, because one day you're just gonna wake up and you won't be able to move. I mean, it's just gonna run out. I mean, like it's just like anything. It's just gonna stop working.
Yeah.
So So from there, I got into depression. I got depressed. And one day, I was just watching, the TV. I'm on my couch, and I was watching this movie. It's called, I don't know if you ever see it. You guys see it? It's called Without a Paddle.
Man, you might have to jog my memory, but I'm sure I've probably seen it.
Well, we'll probably put a picture somewhere over here so that way you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Because it's an awesome movie. So I was watching that movie, and that movie is about these three guys. They're four guys, and those four guys, they're adventurers, since they're little kids, and then the years pass, they grow up, and then next thing you know, it's like they one of these kids die. I mean, now that they're adults, he died. And when he died, like the other three friends got together again, they're going to see him to the funeral, and next thing you know, it's like, they're like, man, we used to do all this kind of stuff. And he's like, one last adventure, for our friend.
Yeah.
So they get a canoe, they get like a 36 pack of beer, and then go in this place. I don't remember what the river is, but it looks pretty familiar. Either is Montana or kind of like Arkansas.
Yeah.
And the river looks amazing. And like I said, keep in mind, I'm on my couch just like this, like depressed, it's like I don't want to do anything, here and there. And then I saw that movie, and I was like, you know what? I said, that's it. I'm done. I said, I want to do that. So I went and started, kayaking that Illinois River, and then I started kayaking in Oklahoma City, in different rivers, lakes, and here and there. And I started, trying to do some research and stuff, because I was like, I wanted to kayak, and I wanted to go to that place too, where that movie is. I wanted to go and do those places. That's what I wanted to do. But in order for me to do it, everyone, who knows me, they know that one of the things that I always do is like safety first. So before I start I was like, for me, in order for me to go to do this kind of stuff, I need to make sure that, what do I need to know? What information do I need? So I was like, I need this, and that. Okay, right on. So then I start practicing rivers here in Oklahoma, little. Stinchcombe. I don't know if you know Stinchcombe.
I've heard of it, but I've never been to it.
And like the Oklahoma River, and here and there, and blah blah blah. Sorry, excuse me. Until I start getting practice, getting more knowledge, and information and all that, so that way I could start doing that. Then, of course, when you get into depression, that kind of stuff, and you have your family, and I have three kids, and then
how old are your kids?
They're 6, 12, and 16.
Cool.
And now today.
Yeah.
So then, like I said, when you're like in depression, you're thinking about things that you just don't want to think, And,
yeah.
And I said, well, maybe, we all going to die one day. But I say, you know what? It's like I want, like that. Like I say, this was, like 10 years ago. So my kids were, super little. And then my youngest, Steve, he was not even born.
Right.
So anyway, so I say, I wanna record, and then just put it on YouTube. And I just did it because I didn't have a computer, so I didn't have a way to storage. So it was just like the easy way, just to like storage that.
So you used it almost like a storage place, just to upload it.
Just so that's all I did.
Yeah.
I just put it there, and then so I did my first adventure, which is like, if you go right now and look at it, you will be like.
Now, how long ago was this?
That first video, I think it was like 10 years ago.
Okay, so you've been doing videos for a while. Then.
Yeah, well, yes. So, I started recording that, no, actually, no. That was like, the first video. When I record the first one, like really, really like trying to make it, like, to put it up there, it took me, it was like probably like 7 years ago.
Okay.
6 years ago, something like that. Now, But when I started doing this, that was like about 8 years ago, and then and that's when I took the decision. But it took me time for me to trying to learn all the adventures. I mean, like all the information that you need, because there's a lot of people, and I'm gonna tell you this, and this is a tip for you guys. If you're an adventure guy, and it doesn't matter what you guys do, like fishing, kayaking, camping, hiking, whatever, everything that you do, there's a stuff out there, that it can get you killed. And safety first, and I know this, and I tell this to all my subscribers all the time. It's like, please know what you're doing. I mean, like, if you don't know, do your research. Like today's days, we're in 2022, and it's like technology is like something that we didn't have this kind of technology that we have like 10 years ago. Like now you just put an address on your phone and you can just go. Before it was like, you get your map and you just go like,
Yeah.
and then if you get lost, you just go to the gas station and it's like, hey, where I am,
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, so safety first, guys. Like always safety first. So that's what it took me for me a little bit longer, because I was like, okay, what do I need? This, and that, and then I start doing kayaking here and there. I start doing a lot of posts, on Facebook. Then I hear about some group in Oklahoma City. It's called OKC Kayak. They have this is a store in Oklahoma that they have that they sell, kayaks. So that's what I got my kayak.
That's where I bought mine.
Oh, really?
They're great
Yeah.
group of people.
Yeah. And then so I meet Dave Lindo. He's a great friend. And then so I start. We start talking, and he's like, where are you going? What are you doing? And I say, here and there is like, man, that is awesome. Because like you should share, your stuff, pictures, on my group. And I was like, okay, sure. So then I started doing that, like I say, 7 years ago, something like that. And then one of the things that I will do in Oklahoma is like I will put my foot on my kayak on Lake Draper, and then just kayak to an island, like to the sandbar, which a lot of people don't know this, but I mean Lake Draper, I know they have a bad reputation, like, and but I mean today's day, it's awesome, it's beautiful. That lake is beautiful if you know where you're going. But like I have a little spot that I won't tell you. No, but I have a spot and that is like almost like white sand, and by by the beach, and then it's like the water, and then you go kayak. We make just some fire and cook some steaks. Well, that's what I was doing. I started putting pictures, and then when it's like, where is that? Like on Facebook, they're like, where is that? Where is that? Where is that? And I was like, well, it's here in Oklahoma, like Lake Draper. No way. And of course, then you have the haters, and then there's like, you're gonna get killed. You're not supposed to get, like fire over there. And then I got a picture, with my fish. Like, that fish is not legal. And then like, you need to, blah 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 blah. It's like, oh my god. But there was people, who got inspired. They're like, I want to do that too, Steve. Next time, can you invite me? So then I was like, well, I do this every Tuesday. Here, and there. Okay. So then people start coming, and then more and more and more. And then next thing you know, and this was like, before, like, for me, before, like, the kayak, it was more popular than what it is today. I remember when I started doing it, there were not so many people.
Well, over the last 2 years, I mean, because I got into it a few years ago. It wasn't quite as popular then, and then as soon as that hit, man, you couldn't find a kayak. I mean, I talked to OKC Kayak, and they said that they normally carry like, and I may butcher this, but they carry like 200 something kayaks or something like that, and they said we have like 11. And because everybody was like not going to work. It's just sitting there like, we got to get outside. It's like the only thing that you could do during that time is to go outside. So, which I I was like, that's what I do. So
Yeah, that's one of the things, that I think that we all have to thank, to the pandemic.
yeah,
Uh, it's that happening to everyone all over the world. It's that it got a lot of people out there. It got people and kids out of their phones.
yes,
And and I mean, you see it now, like and I see this all the time, like now there's so many places that I used to go. One of them is like Camp Doris on Wichita Mountains, by Lauron, Oklahoma. I used to go all the time, and there was nobody there. And
great place to backpack, by the way. If you
Oh,
just wanted to do a
yeah.
backpack, go up to the Wichita Mountains.
Oh yes, that one is a great. I have done so many backpacking there, and it's great. That's a nice place. But now, what I was gonna say is that now it's like there used to be not that many people. Now it's like you go there and it's full.
Really?
And it's like, man, I mean, it's like I'm glad you guys,
Yeah.
everyone is outside, but can you stay over there?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, it's catch-22, I guess you could say, but I'm for it. It's one of those deals where, like, you want people to get outside and get outdoors, and yeah, that may mean that your fishing hole, there may be somebody in it now, but to me, I just look at it as an opportunity or a challenge to say, okay, there's somebody in that spot, or I've shared that spot and somebody's going to get it, but that's a challenge to me to go find another spot and another spot and another spot. So, and if that means more people are getting outside, they're enjoying the outdoors, then, I mean, that's just a kind of small price to pay.
Yeah.
To maybe, find a.
Yes, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because after like start doing this with OKC Kayak Group, and then start having people in there, then there was people, that I mean, I start sharing my knowledge. I start sharing my my fishing spots. What I do. Like, oh well, let's go here. We're gonna be cooking. We're gonna be doing this, and that. Sorry, excuse me. But then, just like anywhere you go, then you have haters, and there's people who don't appreciate it, and then there's people who instead of like appreciate the outdoors, they trash the places. What happened is start like just trashing the place. It's like, now that I know where you go, it's like I'm gonna go, but not with you. Because now I want to do it with myself. I don't want to do it with a group. I just want to do it with someone else. It's like, yeah, I mean, just clean.
Yeah.
But one of the things, like where I start doing that, and then that's when my group on Facebook that I have, that's when I start my group. Because I remember there was one time I went fishing, and then I asked this guy, hey, like what what are you using here and there? And he's like, bait, and he just walked away, and I was like, man, that was rude.
That's kind of my pet peeve, especially like, if you've been fishing a while. I feel like I've been blessed enough to be able to do it, and it's like, if some kid, or not even a kid, just somebody is wanting to learn or figure stuff out, what's it gonna hurt to make their day more enjoyable by telling them,
Yeah, but not everyone thinks like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have meet fishermen, I have meet kayakers, whitewater kayaks, backpacking. I mean, people like that. I mean, all over the place. I have meet people like that. That's one of the reasons why I did my group, because like you ask something, or like, hey, where was that picture? You're like, where is this place? Oh, that's my fishing spot. Yeah, where? And like, that's my secret, and they don't want to share. And just like you were saying, it's like, yeah, you by sharing that information, other people are gonna start going, and then Yeah, but it's like also it's like sharing,
Right.
and that's what it was for me. Then one day, when people was like, "Hey, Steve, I want to do what you do. I want to do what you do." I make my group, and then I start, like keep doing my YouTube channel, and then telling people about safety, about this and that, and then next thing you know, it's like for me it was about sharing fishing spots, kayaking skills or kayaking places, where to go, where to camp, where to backpack, where to hike, all that kind of stuff. And it's exactly what you just said. And one day it's like next thing you know, it's like, hey, it's not your secret spot anymore.
Yeah.
But I guess what? But I mean, just like that we have haters, or that I have, like whatever. It's like the same way. It's like you have which is something that I like. You have the people who appreciate it,
Yeah.
who enjoy it, who just like see them, because that's one of the things that I do on my YouTube and on my group. Is like I do trips, here and there. People mostly, I remember there's been so many people who had told me, like I'm kind of like a school. They were like. Steve Adventure is kind of like school, and which I'm not, but they were like, because it's like people come, so many people that they're so nice, and I'm friends with all of them, and I love them, and they love me, I love them, and all that, and it's like they come, they learn. Either fishing. You have no idea how many people I have bring here and teach them how to fish, for trial with a spinner reel. Not fly fishing, because I just started fly fishing. He's the one who was telling me yesterday. So, anyways, and you have no idea how many people, that they never grab a fishing rod, a spinner reel, before, and they never catch a fish. And then I was like, here, let me show you. Easy setup. I mean, I try to do things that are not complicated.
Make it simple.
Make it just simple. It's like in like if it's okay, I can share it. It's just you have your fishing line. Is like, this is your fishing line. That is like do 4 pounds, 6 pounds. Like then you have your little hook, which is 10 number 10. Then probably 12 inches. Depends where you're fishing. 12 inches, just 12 inches away. Put your weight. If you don't see the fish jumping, put I use 7X or power bait. But 7X, that's something that I will start, because they just go all the way to the bottom, and a lot of people don't fish in the bottom. They use power bait, and sometimes they're not biting there. So now I start in the bottom. Because there's like, that's where they start fishing, so the way that I use is just to help me to cast, and then the 7 eggs just go all the way to the bottom, and I just leave it there. I don't do anything. People is like, why don't you just put a bobber? I'm like, because I want in the bottom. Here's the thing is like, we were talking yesterday here in the river, and I have some friends with me, there, and how many fish they were catching over there, like when we were talking, and it's like it just works, it works. Now sometimes I do that for half an hour, and it is not working. So then I go to power bait. So then from the bottom I go to here, and then if not, so then I do like something to float, so that way they can like, because they're eating on the top, or top water. So they're the easy steps that any kid can learn. So it's just to share that. So people come to Steve Adventures, they learn, and then from there it's like they go with their friends, with their families, here and there, and they just see them get out there. And they have learned kayaking, I mean, all kind of stuff, like I say, stuff, and then see them, leave. It's like I'm feeling that's like the teacher feeling, it's like you have your kids, like, and you see them grow, and then once they go to like from high school, it's like, okay, now go and open your wings, fly,
well, that's cool though. I mean, that's a cool, because I mean, honestly, personally, I think they should have, and they may do it at some schools, but I think it would be awesome to have an outdoor education class. But you're immersing. That's how I found out about you. I saw you on Facebook, and you had your kayak, and you were were taking a group out, and then you were cooking out beside the river, and I was like, man, that is really cool. And
Yeah.
you were taking people with you, and
Yes.
sharing. I was like, that is, I mean, I was like, that's a great idea. First of all, it's just a great idea to do. And then second of all, I mean, that stuff that gets people outdoors, some of these people, they haven't even been out of the city,
Mm-hmm.
or, and I'm sure that when they leave, their whole outlook on the
Yes.
outdoors is pretty cool. And for me, just like catching a fish and cooking it and eating it, that will.
Yeah.
I've did that with. I've taken people out hunting and stuff, and there's something primal about that.
Yeah.
Going out, killing or catching your food,
Yes.
cooking it, and especially if you're eating it right beside the river. I mean, it's like there's just, like I said, something deep within humankind, just that it just feels right. And so that's where I saw you doing that. I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I got to watching some of your other videos. I was like, man, he's all over the place and going to all these cool rivers. And I like how, because when I research, kind of do what you do, I'll start researching places, and Kings River was one of them.
Yeah.
I saw that video.
Yeah.
I've driven past it several times,
Yeah.
and I've watched every video I could on it, read about it, and then but I saw your video, and it's just like, okay, he's giving me good information on this river, giving me a good idea what it looks like,
Mhm.
just kind of doing a good job of explaining like your thoughts on the river. And so I like how you do that when you go to
Yeah.
the-
So thank you. So I started doing that. Some of the people, or some people that I know, got in trouble many years ago on the Buffalo River, and then other people got in trouble on the lower mountain fork by Beaversville.
Yeah.
But this is something that I always tell everyone, and this is something that I was telling you guys, that it's about safety. And this is a tip that I will give you, because this is what I do. Everywhere I go, I always, make a note, like where I go. Like if I'm going camping, it's like, like this is a new place, right? Let's say this new place. And then I go there, and I'll be like, hey, the camp number 7. Oh, I like that one. Maybe next time 8, or here and there, Then I go to my notes, and I'll be like, the name of the camp, camping area, camping site, and it's like, campsite in 7. Next time pick those. Nice look. This is how much I pay. Restrooms are like, here and there. The number, phone number. And it's a store 5 miles away, stuff like that. Because I'm a person that I always forget. Like, I forget names so fast, And then it's just hard for me to remember. And then when it's stuff like that, it's just like I just can't, I just don't remember. So then I start writing it down. So the same thing with the rivers. It's like what I do is like and if you ever go to one of my and watch one of my videos, it's like you will see that if I don't say it on my video, it's like it will be in the description. So I do is like I did this river this many miles. Sorry, these many miles. The water levels was like this high, and the water flow. The water flow is very important. That's what some people that I know got in trouble. I mean, nothing happened, but it could have it could have been bad, but because they didn't know the water flow. So that's why it's very important. If you ever go to a river, you always want to check your water levels, and then your water flow, because the water levels can be high, but if the water flow is it can be low. I mean, nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna take longer. But then, but if the water flow is going too fast, then like you you can end up in the bad situations, and then also even also if it goes like slow, that means like if you do the things that I do, that I just get on my kayak, have all my gear, and then I go and do miles on the river. I stay 4 or 5 days on the river. It is like you thinking about stay in one place. Let's say that you're thinking, you know what, it's like 5 o'clock. Let's say it's noon, and by 5, I'm gonna be, like on this place, which is 5 miles away or whatever, 7 miles, 10 miles, whatever that is. But then because you didn't check your water levels, it's like now you're going slow, and guess what?
Yeah, it's gonna be late.
It's gonna be late,
Yeah.
and you don't wanna be on the dark, in the river,
All right.
and then because you took longer. So all that matters. So information is always good. Like always, wherever you go, always same thing. Like even if you use camping, like check, like if it's any bourbon, like like you can have fire. Sometimes like they can be like, well, we close, or like restrooms are not working. Just try to do all research that you can, how the wind is. If it's something for kayaking, is like a lot of people think just because you see the sun, it's like, oh, it's gonna be a good day for kayaking. And it's like, well, guess what, it's not, because it's gonna be too windy. And then so many people has been rescued, especially on Stinchcombe, in other places, rivers and places that I know, because they got in trouble because they never check, the wind, or just because right now it feels really good, and it's like 2 hours later, you didn't check your phone.
You gotta check the weather.
You gotta check the weather, and like I say, especially when you do the stuff like I do, it's like I go and take my kayak and spend four nights on the river. I'm going kayaking, going down, and then it's like you have to check water levels, the rain that happened before you go, the rain that is going to happen if it's going to happen when you go, and the rain that is going to happen after, or while you're going there. The rain that is going to happen, let's say, for example, if you are, let's talk about like the buffalo.
Actually, I wanted the buffalo is number one on my list to go to. I've what's up, man?
Y'all making a video?
Hey, 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 how you doing?
Hey, Jake. What's up, J-Dub? You want to join us? Huh? Did you catch any fish? Huh? No. Well, Steve's about to tell us about the buffalo. So, I've actually been. I saw that video. We planned a trip down there last year, but just like what you were talking about, we wanted to do the last 25 miles there through the wilderness area, do a 2-night, 3-day float, and planned it, and then they got just hammered with rain, and it just got washed out.
Yeah.
So, tell everybody about your buffalo trips.
So the Buffalo River is one of my favorites on my list. Have you ever been?
No,
like
no,
never.
no.
Okay.
I've driven past it many times. We go to the White and stuff, but it's been on my list. But we tried to plan a trip; it just hadn't worked out. But this year.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. And as you guys know, I have been all over the place wherever I can. But the Buffalo, it's and you're gonna love it. It's so amazing, that place. So amazing, and I love that place so much that I do it twice a year. I do it on April and I do it on September.
Okay.
So I do that river twice. One of the things that I do on that one, there are different ways to do it. Like the way that I like to do it, I like to do the last. There are 33 miles that you can do.
Last 33 miles,
Like
and that's
33.
through the wilderness area, and then it dumps into the White River.
Then the Water River.
Okay.
So what you do is like you start.
Rush Springs.
Well, there's one before that.
Okay.
I think it's Ferries. No. I don't know, but it's one that is 10 miles before Rush Landing.
Okay.
And that's what's gonna make it 33.
Okay.
If you start on Rush Landing, and then depends where you get out, because there's different, like exits. then it will be, like 23 or 27 miles. Then, like I said, depends, where you get out. So on that one, you got to check your water levels. You need to check, at least, like from 1 week before. Okay. And I mean, I'm a guy that I be checking like every morning. I wake up and I'm like just checking because weather change so fast in there. So, anyways, water levels, like if you can do, like anything from 3.5 feet to 4.5, you are great. That's gonna be you perfect because it's gonna be it's high enough that it's gonna be moving. It's a great fishing, you know, um, and
Catch good smallmouth there.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, and then they have the water flow is gotta be, like at least you want it on 500. You can do probably
500 CFS.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Um,
That's optimal, you say?
yes,
Or- okay.
yeah. I mean, that will be something that at least that's what you want.
Okay.
500.
Anything?
Yeah,
less
anything
than too
below,
low,
yeah.
It's gonna take
I'm-
a while.
Yeah, it will take you, because you can do that river even if it's 2.5 feet. You
Yeah.
know, um, you can still do it. That's not a problem. The water flow can be 100 or 200, CFS. But the thing is, like, you're gonna take forever. So, yes, you can, but just think in mind and take in mind, that is you're gonna have to plan to spend more nights there. Now, anything over 6, 7, now you have to be experienced. And when I say experience, it's not just about someone who grabbed the kayak and go to a river sports gear. Because just because you can do white water or control your kayak, like when water is moving, it doesn't mean that you can do it there. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're doing this kind of stuff in here, you don't have any gear. You don't have any weight.
You're carrying your camping food and everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And 36 beers.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta save room for that. Huh?
Yeah. And then, I mean, you have a lot of weight,
Yeah.
and then it's like anything over 6 foot, on the buffalo, you have to be experienced. And experience, like I say, controlling your kayak and know how to do that kind of stuff with the weight. It's different when you don't have no weight.
Yeah. See that's we. I'm not an experienced kayaker. My kayak is just used to get to fishing spots. So when we go, it's like, well, it's a fishing trip. Well, I say we haven't went yet, but when we do go, I need to know what water levels, because I'm a beginner kayak, or kayaker. So I'm fishing first, enjoying the scenery, but I'm not used to big rapids or anything like that. So what water levels for like maybe a beginner would you say? If you're looking for a nice float and you don't want to get into some too sketchy of water, is there a certain CFS that you would say watch out for this? Or?
Yeah, I mean, like the best one for a beginner will be 3.5.
Okay.
3.5, 4.
Okay.
That's gonna be your best. On water flow, 5, 800.
Okay.
That's gonna be like perfect.
Okay.
Like, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like you're not gonna go and see like rapids. Everything's gonna be like moving. You will see the scenery. Like you can fish. It will be perfect. That's your perfect now.
Okay.
Now, just because I'm telling you guys these numbers, it doesn't mean, because that's how other people got confused. They think every river is like that. No, it's like every river that you do is like has different levels. That it will be comfortable. So now this information is for that one.
Where would somebody go to get? Do you know where somebody go to get that online? Is there a place that
Yes. So
we could link it in the
yeah,
description? Or
yeah.
something?
I mean, it's really easy. You can just Google. I mean, there's one app. It's called River River app.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. River app. Simple enough. Huh?
River app, and that goes all over the world. Like you just put in there,
I think I've actually been on that.
USA, like put the state and the name of the river, and it will tell you. Now, it will tell you the water levels and the water flow. It won't tell you what's safe or not, or what's the best.
Right.
There's not a page for that. And that is just something that
You just got to know what's
Yes.
the normal measurements for that river
yes,
in particular.
yes, and every, like I say, every river is different. So, but like that information is something just with practice and knowing. And like I say, if you go, if you write it down, that way you don't forget, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, next time you will be like, okay, the water is a little bit higher. So now because you just done this river on these water levels, you will judge for yourself what is better for you. You'll be like, oh, I think I can do a little bit more. Now, always on the Buffalo, there are 3 places that they're a little sketchy, but I mean, nothing will happen, like if you do it on these water levels that I just told you. But on Rush Landing, it's not even a quarter of a mile. It's the first curve right there. You just go there and like you will have rapids. Always stay into the left. Yeah. So on rain, on that one you have to look a week before, because if it rains, like for example, I can know like if I'm gonna do the river or not a week before. Because if it rains, like let's say for example, next week is gonna be amazing. That's where we going. It's gonna be sunny, no wind or anything. But if this week rains, that river is gonna get flooded.
Because it may take it.
Mm-hmm.
It just gathers all that water from 50
Yeah.
miles or 100 miles or however, and just finally.
Yeah, and that's the rain. If it rains there on that town, and there's called Gainesville or Janesville, something like that. But also another thing that you have to watch on that river is like you have to check Missouri.
Okay.
That Missouri is what's gonna get you killed if you don't check, because here it cannot be raining, but if it rains in Missouri, that water and it will get you. It takes 2 days. I have my math. I have, like, I mean, these have take me, a lot of time, but whatever rain they have in there, 50% of the water levels that they will have in Missouri, it will affect this one.
Okay.
And it will take around, 1 or 2 days to get all the way to the
Okay.
Buffalo.
Is there a contact down there that somebody you call, or do you just all this stuff you just kind of already know because you've been there? and you
No,
watch it,
I
or-
mean I've been there, and
Yeah.
like I said, and because the way that I do things, I write it down, and
Yeah.
it's like that's how I know. I mean, I just go to to my app, weather app, and be like how the weather is here. It's gonna be there on Janesville, and then how the weather is the same days is gonna be like up on Missouri, and then from there I just you just check
Yeah.
in.
So what you're saying is I'm gonna call you when I next
Yes,
time I
yes,
plan a trip?
yeah. Call me, and I'm gonna do this river. Like I said, I do this on April, and September, and I have a trip that is gonna be I think I'm not sure, but I think it's the 24.
Okay.
I think it's the 24. We do it. I take the group with that, and you invite in and all your friends
Yeah,
if you
man, I
guys
may
want to
have
join us.
I'd love to do that. I may have to see if I can.
It's like we got there on Rush Landing on Wednesday, and I believe it's April 24, Wednesday, and then on Thursday. Sorry, on Thursday we got in the river, and then we spent Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and we got out until Sunday.
Okay, you spend 3 nights actually.
Three nights, 4 days.
Okay.
3 nights, 4 days. And just 1 night extra, like before, like on Wednesday, because we just got that. We just do car camping on Wednesday.
Okay.
There's the river. We just set up camping here, get everything ready, and the next day, so that way we can just leave and do the kind of stuff. So we set up the camp. We camping along the river 3 nights.
Cool.
3 nights
Cool.
for 4 days. Really chill, light trip. I mean, that's how are my trips. My trips for me is something that is like it have to be chill, enjoy. I don't like to be in a rush, and I like to. Especially in the Buffalo, it's a place like it's just so amazing.
I've seen videos and
And
pictures.
it's like you see the river, and it's like you're in the kayak. It's like, man, I just want to go swim over there. And then it's like, hey, you want to go swim? We stop and we go swimming. And then, man, that looks like a great fishing spot. It's like, well, let's fish. That's the enjoyment, or like that's what it takes. Like for me, to enjoy my trips. I don't want to be in a rush. I don't want to be, because I have met people before that they just like get on the river at 5 in the morning, and then they kayak the whole day. Yeah, they do a lot of miles, but you cannot fish. You cannot, like you want to take a picture, like take a picture, let's go,
Yeah, you don't have time to enjoy it.
Yeah, you don't. It's like for me, I want to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
I want to have my coffee.
Right.
I want to have my coffee. I want to enjoy. Maybe fish a little bit, have my breakfast, pack everything, and then we go. And then if I want to fish here, I want to swim here. Here and there. It's like, I'm gonna do that. When we get, to where we set up camp. It's like I want to set up camp. If we catch a fish, we catch a fish. We cook the fish. We make some rice. Cook here and there. Have the fire. And pop some beers. And we just all enjoy and talking and
Sounds awesome.
That's that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I like for my trips. I mean,
That sounds like my trip. Too,
There we go.
I'm gonna may have to see what I can do.
Yeah,
and
if
tag
you
along
can,
with
if you
yeah.
can,
Yeah.
come and I do some for those trips. I do a workshop.
Okay.
Workshops, to teach, like people who don't know, how to pack and the gear that you need.
Okay.
And then I take it to the Lake Draper in Oklahoma, and then I teach them, how to pack, here and there, how your kayak should feel. Because if you don't know how to pack, your kayak can go sideways, and then you can be, like every time that you paddle, is gonna trying to, turn to the right, to the left, here and there. So I have a system that works for me, so I share that, and then of course everyone else, because depending on the gear that they have, they might gonna pack different, but at least they have a concept,
Right.
which is what I share. And then if they like it, like they just stick with it, or they have a concept and they use that, like with what they have on a different gear. Because not, even though, we have kind of like the same gear, but at the end of the day, something that always, like everyone ended up doing is like you buy a lot of stuff on your first fishing river trip. And then when you finish that trip, what happened is that you ended up being other people's, like gear, and you're like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. And then, guess what? All this that I bought, I didn't even use it.
Yeah.
And
It's like a lifelong deal. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that when I'm like like we go elk hunting and
Yeah.
backpacking, and it's like every time we go hunting or whatever, it's just like I'll see a buddy and he has something like, I want that.
Yeah.
It's just like a little like a little ultralight backpacking chair. Like, I don't need that. And then you get up there and like, I'm getting one of those next time. Or
Yep.
you pack something in and you're like, I don't use this. I don't need it.
Yeah,
So over
Yeah.
time, it just evolves. So
Yep.
that's cool though that you get like. That's cool that you kind of give somebody like a base. You take them out locally,
Yeah.
do a workshop with them, and that way they
Mhm.
kind of have. And then that's pretty cool. So do you like? So you go in April and September. Do you prefer one time over the other, or is you just both have? Okay.
Yes. So I'm a person, people who know me know this. I'm a person that I like that cold weather. Like, that's my favorite time of the year.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, like my favorite time of the year, is gonna start, like from October to, March.
There's no poison ivy or snakes.
I know.
Well, I say there's no poison ivy. I got it 3 weeks ago, so
Okay.
it's the first time. But
Oh,
it was
boy.
75 degrees outside too. So, but yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
so.
it's just like, not that I don't like people, but it's like, I mean, I love people, but what I'm saying is like when it's cold weather, one, it's less people. So you don't have to battle, like to get spots. Two is more quiet, Then you go to you get a fire. Like right now, like look at that guy right there. He's enjoying his fire, And what time is? It's like it's 1:11. He's enjoying his fire. He's just missing the beer right there.
Yeah.
He's drinking water.
Yeah.
Oh, it's vodka. His vodka. But look at that. It's like, and that's one of
Wish
the
I had
things.
a camera right now.
Camera, right? What you do, right?
Yeah, we were gonna do the podcast by the fire, but the wind would have been blowing it right in our face. So I didn't figure that would be.
Yeah. So it's like it's 1:11. You get to enjoy the fire. Like right now, it's like you get your clothes, you get your gear, and then you're good. You go fishing. Here and there. You can cook outside. Take a shower. I mean, it's nice.
Perfect.
Now, when it's summer, it's like too many people here.
100 degrees.
100 degrees, and then if you went to take a shower, it's like two minutes later you're sweating already.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to cook something and you can't because it's like so hot, And it's like now you're all wet, and then it's that's going to start like all the mosquitoes, man. And like you're trying to go like, okay, well, let's go backpack or let's go hiking somewhere, and there's like all the snakes, all this, it's like, oh my god, and. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still like it and love it, but I still prefer, if I was going to do something during the week on the summer, I will do kayaking and camping on the rivers.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things to do, camping on the river. I mean, like, because, I mean, you're always by yourself or with your group.
And I think there are tons of people out there that see that and are like, I want to do that. I want to take a kayak. I want to take my camping gear, and I just want to go. But it's kind of one of those deals where there's a lot. You can't just take off and go. There's a lot of planning.
No, you can't.
There's a lot of, because you could get in some sticky situations.
Yes.
But, so, like I said, when I saw found your channel and everything, I thought, this is pretty awesome that you're taking people out, you're teaching them, but you're also sharing your trips and stuff like that. So what are your, like, so we talked about the buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's your favorite trip? Is there a favorite trip that you've just, or is the buffalo your favorite?
Well, it just depends.
Depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, depends what am I doing. Depends on where.
If you could do anything, like if I said, all right, you got a week, what's your favorite thing to do? Because I've seen you skiing, I've seen you kayaking.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing to do? Or is it hard to?
Man, I mean that's a tough one, but I think I will stay. I'll always stay with the buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
cool.
buffalo, the 11 point.
11 point.
Yeah.
In Missouri.
In Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, the 11 point in Missouri. I think that will be my favorite, because if we're talking about like a week and I can do a lot of stuff here and there, it's like I can go hike, I can go kayak, do a lot of miles, so I can fish, I can camping, I can cook, I can there's just so many things. And the buffalo has so many like different fish in there. You also have trout, and that they go like from the white river, they go up.
Yeah.
So like the last, probably before you go and get in touch with the White River, I think probably the last 5-7 miles.
They go that far up?
Yeah.
So that water stays pretty chilly?
I mean, like in the time of the year. I mean, September. Yeah. But
I guess wintertime they could go quite a ways.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say the buffalo, but I mean, like on that, but there are so many places, that I will do like one specific for.
What are some other things or places that come to mind that?
Oh man, I will share this one with you, and if you guys can go to my channel and you can check this video. So I think I have 2 or 3 videos in there. It's the Devil's Canyon. If you guys like backpacking, or even just hike, Devil's Canyon. Yeah.
Where's that at?
It's on Arkansas.
Okay.
It's on Arkansas. If you're going on the highway I-40.
Devil's Den or Devil's Canyon?
No, that's what I was gonna say. People can get confused.
Okay.
Devil's Den. Devil's Den is like it's a park,
Uh-huh.
like, yeah. And there's a lot of places in there for you guys to hike. The reason what I did the first time that I did Devil's Canyon, it was because I was looking for new experience, new adventures, and I couldn't find like something really exciting, like something that was calling my name.
Yeah.
Until I found it. I found that one, and then I asked people people who hike and backpacking, they have never heard. In fact, when I went the first time, for the first time I went and and set up camp on one camping ground that is about 20 miles from there, because like I say, I'm going by myself. No, actually no, that one I did that one with a friend, with Christy. We did that one, and then we got there, and then I was asking, like the host on the camping grounds. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do the Devil's Canyon tomorrow. I say, if I don't come back by 5, that means something went wrong. Call 911, and the camp host is like, where is that? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, I never heard about the Devil's Canyon. And they're from there. And I was like, really?
See, this is good information. I mean, not even locals know about it, so y'all know about it now.
Yeah. So that one, the Devil's Canyon, and this is what people don't know about it. It's no trail. That
So you're bushwhacking the whole thing, or
you have to you have to use a compass.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to use a compass. You have to able to make sure make sure you can jump, you can rappel, you can go through tough places. But this is how this adventure went. It's like I got there, I got some information on this app. Is called, and if you guys interested in this, you guys can go to this app. It's called All Trails.
Okay.
All Trails, and then just put a Devil's Canyon. Don't put Devil's Den. Devil's Canyon on Arkansas. And then you will see like one of the first, like the all comments, there are people they're locals in there, and the people have get lost in there. There's other people that they were like, I've been, I have lived here my entire life, and I have hiked that trying to find that place, and it's been 2 years and I haven't found it, because this is a tricky part, and this is what is like really adventure about this.
Yeah.
It's like, so you go there, there's no trail. You start, you just park, right, and then from there they have like a ATV trail, like 4-wheelers. But then once you pass that, it's like you just go into the forest. And the magical, but this is like you go into the middle of the forest, and there are 2 waterfalls in the middle of the forest.
Oh man.
And then the trick is like you have to find it. And then one waterfall, I think, is like, I don't know,
So you don't have GPS coordinates on them?
No. And even if you have it, you can't. 1, you don't have signal. 2, it's like, because that's some of the stuff that I do. It is like I go to Google Earth, and get my coordinates and here and there, and I kind of spot it, stuff like that, like where I'm going here and there, what to look for, stuff like that. There you can, because since it's the forest on Google Earth, like it's like covered with trees, so you can see anything. So there are 2 waterfalls. Like I said, one waterfall is about probably like 30 foot, and the other one I think is like 120 or 8 or something. Yeah, but it's huge. And then the first one, a lot of people find the first one because it's the first one. The tricky one is the second one. So I'm like hiking. I'm going here, and like I say, safety first. And I talk about this in the video and all my videos. But anyways. I knew that I was just going there for hiking just for a day, because I just wanted to take a look. but I had all my gear with me, like in case that I will get lost. And because, like I said, there's no trail. I mean, there's sometimes you can say, it's no trail, but you can see, but because not a lot of people go, there's no trail. You just go into like trees. So one of the things that I talk in that video is like I have this I bought this like a roller tape. I don't know what was it, like the ones that you use for when you have like a birthday parties or something. That they're like bright colors, but I don't know. I bought something that I just found on the Family Dollar store. Yeah. So then what I did is like I start going and I start marking, like the trees, my trail. Like mark over here, keep going. Mark over here, keep going. We found the first waterfall, which is amazing. And it was when I went. I think it was November or December, and it was cold. But of course, you have to jump.
Yeah.
So I jumped in the water.
Wow. And how tall was this waterfall?
This one was like I think it's like 20, like 20 foot, 20 or 30 foot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
so I just got in. I mean, cold. It was cold. It was cold, but it's like one of those things that you have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like you have to do it. So I got in the water. Then we just, like, let's say the waterfall is right here. We coming all the way from, let's say, from behind me. So we coming this way. Waterfall is right here, and then we're like, well, we just keep going like right here, and it should be like going with my compass, feeling like Indiana Jones, like
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, it's like for me thinking, I'm going straight, and when I see one tree in front of me, there's got the marks that I've been leaving. I got lost.
Oh man.
And I was like, I mean, lost and not lost because I just pretty much turned around and I was like, wow. So then I was like, man, no. I was like, okay. So where did this went wrong? So I went back to the waterfall and I was like, okay. So it's so weird when you're on the forest, like because you're going like this and then you have to go like, and then you go like, boom, and then it feels like you just do that kind of turn. So then I found the other waterfall. When I found the other waterfall, because on the forest, because it's so tall, like it get dark faster. Mm-hmm. Because like the sun, it will, go down on like, even if you still have sun on different places, there it goes. It just go. The lights go like super fast. So it was 5 probably o'clock, and then we finally, find the other waterfall. We're like, yeah. Well, I mean, I was like, yes, I did it, And then I was like, take a picture, and then we take a picture, like, oh, okay, and I was like, let's get out of here, And then it's like you just start running, like pretty much we start almost like running. So we start running, and it's like when we got out, like my truck was like from here probably to the river, that I can barely see it. So when I saw my truck, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna survive. I saw the truck and it's like somebody turned the lights off, like, because it gets super dark.
Yeah.
Man. So I finally made it. Going back to the camping grounds, I see the host that I tell them is like, if I don't come back by 5 o'clock, call 911. I got there at 6.
Oh, dang.
And then I got there at 6 and I'm like, hey, just wanted to let you know that we come back. He's like, oh, okay.
Never.
No. I was like, thank
Thanks
God.
a lot, man.
I know. I was like, you know what? It's like, thank God.
Wow,
I'm so I am surprised.
That's not much of a host. I mean,
I know.
It's like that's kind of like on a trail or something. That's like the main thing is like, hey, especially, and that's a good thing to do on your part is, hey, if you're gonna go to a place, tell somebody or leave a note.
Always.
Preferably tell somebody. Man, that sounds like quite the adventure.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could probably talk all day long about your adventures, dude.
Yeah, I know.
But check out his YouTube channel. If you could binge watch tons of adventures, tons of places. Where can people find you, Steve?
Well, one, you guys can, if that's okay with you, guys, you can just put the link, and this is gonna be, like for my YouTube. But on YouTube, you can find me, like SA Jackson 62, or you can find me as Steve Adventures in Oklahoma City. On Facebook, Steve Adventures all together. I have my page. You guys can follow my page, and that's where I share, like all my videos. That way, you guys don't miss anything. That's where I do my classes. I do kayaking classes for kids and adults. You can find about the workshops that I do. All this is free. All this is free. I do workshops, like for backpack, for hiking, for how to make your next trip. I do, for kayaking, camping, all that kind of stuff. Depends on what is my next, So every time is something different. And then also have a group if you guys want to be part of it, or if you guys want to go in there. It's fishing, kayaking, camping, outdoors adventures, or FKC Outdoors Adventures, and you guys can find me over there. And I hope you guys can go and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to his channel because like I said, he goes to. Well, we've talked about it today. Just go and subscribe to his channel and check out. I'm looking forward to watching some of your next adventures, and I feel like we're going to be hanging out in the future, man.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's been a blast meeting you.
Thank you.
Like I said, I feel like I could probably pick your brain all day long about some of a lot of the stuff you do kind of aligns right what I love to do. So especially check out the cooking stuff too that you do on your channel.
Oh yeah,
it's
I
pretty
love
cool.
cooking.
I was like, man, that's pretty cool what he's doing there. So
thank you.
But man, Steve, thanks for sitting
you.
down, man, and sharing your channel and your stories and your adventures, man.
Well,
and,
thank you for reminding me.
I think that your channel is just gonna continue to grow because just a matter of time, more people find you, and so
hopefully,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Well, thank you for the invite, and
Hey,
you guys will see one day. I don't know who, maybe in the Buffalo someday, but you will see this guy and I can see it. We want to do it.
I'm dead serious. Ask Jake. We had a trip planned and just got watched. But I was looking towards April and time. But I'm definitely gonna check my calendar, and if I can't go then I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hit you up
and same thing for all you subscribers, your followers. If you guys ever have a question, like if it takes me a little longer, but I will answer your questions. Like if you need information about a river, so the places that I go, this is something that I always tell everyone is like on my videos. Is like wherever I go, if you guys need any information, I will not put it on a comment, because sometimes it can get a little higher, but that's why like if you go follow my page, you guys, if you have questions, if like about a river that I did, about a trip, or like hiking, or tips or anything like that, reach out to me, and I will answer the best that I can, and I will share with you guys my knowledge and like whatever I can. I'm not professional, but I like the outdoors.
Well, man, thanks again, and I think it's time to go do a little fishing. So,
all right,
buddy.
All right, thank you.